What's up everybody, hope all is well. Anatomy Mechanic here. So my last video we went over shoulder pain and how that relates to ribcage placement. Today I want to go over how to actually fix the shoulder itself. So let's say your ribcage, you did that last exercise, you were able to get air into your right side and get the scapula back. Now we have to strengthen and release certain muscles that might be a little too overactive. So being in the gym, it's very biased against internal rotation, meaning that everything that we do in the gym literally almost puts us into internal rotation, right? So even on the phone, sitting at a computer, let's talk about chest press, let's talk about rows, everything puts us into internal rotation. That's taking this humerus bone and internally rotating it. What we need to do is we need to loosen up those internal rotators, such as your pec minor, pec major. We need to work on loosening your lat. Believe it or not, your lat wraps around the front of the humerus, connects to the front. That also is an internal rotator. Our muscles that do external rotation are very small. And those external rotators are like your infraspinatus, your supraspinatus, your rear delt. So they're very small muscles. And as you can see here, look at how small they are. This is your infraspinatus here. This is your supraspinatus here. You have your teres minor here, your teres major, and then the lat runs around this way. So you have a lot of small muscles in this area, but in the front, you have something called a pec minor. And that pec minor connects from the sternum and wraps up to the front of the shoulder, and it connects right here. And that brings this shoulder forward. Okay? It brings up the whole scapula, just brings it forward. So we have to loosen up all of those muscles that are keeping us in internal rotation. So we're going to talk about two main muscles today. We're going to talk about your lat and we're going to talk about your pec minor and pec major. Okay, I like to put them together because they're right in the same area. You're going to end up hitting both. So let's start with the pecs. How we loosen the pecs. So first thing we have to do is we have to break up some adhesions. Okay, there might be some adhesions in there. Chest might be feeling really, really tight. So I want you to get a lacrosse ball. Baseball works well. Tennis ball works, handball might be a little bit too soft, but lacrosse ball and baseball works, especially because of the ridges on the baseball. What you're going to do is you're going to find an empty wall somewhere. You're going to take this ball, you're going to put this arm behind you, and you're going to put this ball on the wall. So I'm going to show you. Just going to come on over here. We're going to use this wall. I'm going to put my arm behind me, get this shoulder back, put this just like this, and just move around. That's all I'm going to do. Find a spot that hurts. I find a spot there. I'm going to take my palm facing the wall and I'm going to come up and down. Just do that a few times. Come up a little higher and down. Move around a little bit. Come up and down. Good. You can even come out a little bit. So just work the ball around certain spots that are bothering you. Okay? After you do that, now you want to stretch that muscle, so I'm going to show you how to release it. So you broke up some adhesions. I want you to find a doorway, some type of door frame or something where it's about this long that you can get your arm on. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your palm. You don't want to be turned inwards. You want to be palm facing you. From here, you can get your elbow or a little bit more past bicep on there. Come down from the knees and rotate from the torso, not just from the hips, from the torso until you feel a nice stretch there. Then you want to breathe there because breathing is key. The muscle is trying to release. You have to get air in there. So you take some nice deep breaths. Feel that muscle. Don't let your ribs arc. Keep your ribs down. And just focus on these ribs being down and breathing here. Every time you inhale, you should feel this releasing more and more. Okay? So that's one thing you want to do. Now let's talk about the lats. The way that I like to release the lats, that I find that works really well, is I grab a foam roller. And what I do with this foam roller is I lay down on the ground. So we're going to come down here. I get right into my lat with this foam roller. So I find on the side here, I lay on my side, I just move around. Once I find a spot like that right there, that feels sore and feels tender. So I'm gonna sit on that for a little bit there, give myself little moves, and then what I'm going to do is move my arm down. I'm just dragging my arm back this way, then I'm coming up and down. Just small moves, just to get everything to release in there, move a little bit more. Have fun with this, take some time. This isn't a rush thing, you wanna just work it in there, okay? So you find I'm right underneath the armpit, right on that lat, moving it around. Now, after I do this on both sides, I'm gonna stretch out the lats. So I'm gonna show you how you can stretch out the lat in the gym. This is a good thing to do before your workout actually starts. So you can go to the squat rack. You can get the bar about head height. I already have these rings kind of set up, so I'm gonna use the rings. But it's the same concept with the bar. What we're going to do is, we're going to use these rings to stretch out the lats. The biggest mistake that I see people make when they're trying to stretch out the lats is they are arcing from the back and letting these ribs come up. You're not stretching the lats with these ribs up. You have to get these ribs down. Okay, you're just trying to make more range of motion by getting these ribs up. Keep the ribs down and get this arm back. So, grab the bar. Once you come down, you should be looking like you're sitting in a chair, okay? From here, you don't want your ribs up. You don't want your chest up. You want to breathe in through your nose calmly. As you breathe in, you're gonna exhale and tuck your pelvis underneath you. It's almost like you're crunching your core. Hold that position. Breathe into your lats. Exhale. You should feel your core get very, very tight. And now if you look, I'm directly underneath my arms. I'm not back here. I'm right underneath my arms. My bicep is right near my ears. Breathe in. Exhale. And relax. So I like to do that for about 2 to 3 sets. And each set I like to do about 5 breaths each. Now we've loosened up the lats, we loosened up the pec. Now we have to strengthen the opposing muscles. So I'm going to show you a nice warm up or a nice exercise that you can do in the gym to strengthen the opposing side. So we're going to come over to the bench here. Start with light weight. Don't go crazy. Okay, remember they're small muscles. I like to just start with a 5-pound dumbbell. If you've never done this before, start with a 5, start with a 3. Just start light so you can work your way up, okay? I lay a bench flat. You can do this on the floor, whichever way you feel comfortable. From here, I lay on my side. You have 1 or 2 options. You can come to the top and put your arm here, or you can put your arm underneath you. From here, my elbow is going to go right on my side, weight here, and I'm going to come up. Just like that. I'm not rounding back. I'm not letting my elbow fly back. My elbow stays right where it needs to be. Here, boom. Here, boom. I'm not arcing. My core is still tight. One more. Good. And over time, you're going to start to get a burn back here. That is what you're kind of aiming for. You want to feel that muscle working. Another thing that you can do with a band is take a band, palm up. And this is another mistake where everybody makes, they do this exercise in the gym and their ribs are up. Breathe in, exhale all the air out. Feel your core get very, very tight. Once your core is very, very tight, hold that there. Posteriorly tuck your pelvis, okay? You want to be here and here. You don't want to be here. That's not going to work that. We need to get here and here. You want to be neutral. Once you get there, palm up, come out, hold. Breathe into the chest, exhale. This has my arm in external rotation. I am not, if my palms were down, that's internal rotation. That's still working the muscle in the back, but this is not what we're trying to accomplish. We're trying to get those externals to fully work. So palm up, tuck the pelvis, ribs tight, boom, hold that. You can do a set of 10 this way, or you could just hold it, whichever one works better for you. All right, so remember, it's not just about stretching muscles. You have to activate and strengthen the opposing muscles whenever it comes to pain. So the next video that we're gonna do is about knee pain in the gym. How just releasing a quad is not gonna do it. You have to do a lot more than that. So stay tuned for that. I hope this video helped. I know part one might have been a little bit confusing. This one just definitely helped you out a little bit more, get you to understand what we're trying to do. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. Remember, we only have good days. Peace.